To be or not to be? Hamlet. What? Wait? This is about William Shakespeare? Hamlet wrecked me. I thought I knew Hamlet, but Chloé Zhao's take on Shakespeare's real-life family tragedy is mind-blowing. Welcome to Dream and Be Reviews. Let's dive in. This film truly surprised me. I went in thinking, do I really need another Hamlet retelling story? I know Hamlet. However, this isn't just a simple retelling of the play. It's a reimagining of William Shakespeare's life while he was creating Hamlet, which completely reframes the story for me. Instead of focusing solely on the play, the film explores Shakespeare's family, his wife, and his children, and how the death of his son influenced the writing of Hamlet. There have always been theories suggesting that Shakespeare drew from his own life, myths, and folklore for his work. And I loved how the film embraces that idea, blending fairy tale elements like grief and focusing on where he grew up as one emotional piece. Chloé Zhao's direction is brilliant. She utilizes natural lighting and opts for a more grounded, non-Hollywood aesthetic, which makes everything feel authentic, as if you are eavesdropping on real life. Instead of watching a polished costume drama, the film often features long takes and minimal cutting, allowing the camera to simply observe. This approach gives the actors space to breathe and let scenes develop naturally. At times, the framing resembles, in my mind, that of a CCTV, which is quietly watching from a distance. However, the distance actually draws you in, allowing you to fully experience the moment and to sit with both the discomfort and tenderness, rather than being rushed along by quick edits. This creates a strong sense of immersion, making you feel though you are not just watching a film, but are absorbed into the small but fragile world. Let's discuss the performances, as this is where I feel the film truly excels. And first off, let's talk about Jessie Buckley. Oh my gosh, playing Agnes, Shakespeare's wife, for me, she is exceptional. She's already getting so much love in regards to the awards. She just won the SAG Awards. And for me, this film truly showcased why she deserves all the love and praise she's getting. For me, her performance is raw and grounded, and refreshingly unglamorous in the best possible way. It feels as though she's half anchored in reality and half immersed in something mystical, which beautifully complements the character's connection to nature and healing. So let's talk about Paul Mescal, who is portraying William Shakespeare. And it took me some time to fully engage with his performance. I find it challenging to trust that a character as complex as Shakespeare will be depicted as generally good or faithful. However, as the film gradually reveals more about his family, his work, and his internal struggles, I started to appreciate his performance more. By the second half of the film, when his grief becomes more apparent and he channels it into a play called Hamlet, or the Tales of Hamlet, I recognized and valued the subtle groundwork laid early in the story. There's also an amazing performance from Emily Watson as William's mother. I also loved her work in the recent TV show Dune Prophecy. I think she elevated that whole storyline. And the rest of the ensemble convincingly portrays a close-knit community and a complex family dynamics. Okay, and then let's talk about the kids, particularly Arlo Samuels as Hamlet and Emily's Webb as his twin sister Judith. Oh my gosh, astounding. There's a particular scene that really affected me, where Arlo is on his sister's sickbed. Sensing something ominous approaching, I believe I remember he can actually see the spirit of death is coming. So he prays to switch places with his sister, hoping he can take her suffering instead. And when, for me, he experienced the afterlife for the first time, oh my gosh, the performance in those moments are brilliant. And then I had the poignant question, has he gone? Where is he gone? And then the subsequent reveal of his fate hits hard. These performances by the young actors truly solidify the emotional connection and portray the authentic family dynamics. For me, they enhance the entire film, allowing it to resonate on a deeper level. When it comes to the cinematography, I feel this perfectly aligns with Chloé's overall approach. Shots are often held longer than you might expect, and the camera doesn't constantly cut to whoever is speaking. Instead, it sometimes lingers on one character while you're hearing voices in the background. For me, this technique builds tension and captures your attention in a unique way, reminiscent of films that trust the audience to sit back and watch as if the camera simply lets life happen in front of it. Also, the use of natural light is a significant element for this style. There are scenes where it may be a challenge to see every detail, but the darkness contributes to the immersion. For me, it feels authentic when you're seeing the use of candlelight, dusk, and the normal feeling of weather rather than the perfect studio setup. This choice makes the film feel earthly, intimate, and almost fragile. What I truly appreciated about this film is the suggestion that Hamlet the play may have emerged from personal tragedy rather than solely from imagination. It highlights how the stories we consider great works can also serve as an act of mourning. There's a thread of folklore, witchcraft, and cultural heritage, especially through the character of Agnes, that introduces a mystical element without transforming the film into pure fantasy. This aspect is subtle, yet powerful. The music choice complements this theme beautifully. There are hints of something mystical, almost Celtic or Druid in tone, that blend well with the more grounded drama. The final song before the credits roll truly resonated with me. On the Nature of Daylight by Max Richter. I remember hearing that for the first time in the film Arrival, and that piece conveys a feeling of melancholy and release that has stayed with me ever since. So these are going to be my final thoughts. Overall, Hamlet is a beautifully crafted film that is quite devastating. It may not appeal to everyone. Its pacing is slow and the style is quite restrictive. But if you appreciate Shakespeare character-driven dramas, or you're a big fan of Chloé Zhao's work, then this film is for you. With recent Golden Globe win and the SAG Awards as well, I could see it being a strong contender for the Oscars, even though Shakespeare's category is already competitive. So that's going to be the end of my review, and I should be asking you the question, have you seen Hamlet? What did you think of it? Do you think my review is fair? Do you think also that it's going to win Best Picture or one of the other acting awards, either Best Actress or Best Actor? Or do you think it's going to be overshadowed by all the other major contenders? Anyway, let me know in the comments below. I want to say thank you so much for clicking on this, and I like to say all the time, please remember you can dream.